This is where I place my camera. It feels right. Wherever, middle center. Come on. Center left. Listen, we're not talking about where you're going to mark your ballot in 2 weeks, okay? I just asked a simple question. I wanted a simple answer. You are a bottom left Andy. I'll take that. What's that on the political compass, by the way? Based? In case you did not see the last episode of Silent Hill, or the last stream, we made it out of the hospital. We didn't bring everybody with us. Spoilers, maybe? We didn't bring everybody with us, but we are out of the hospital. I believe that we're going to the prison, but I'm not sure James knows that yet. And the shelf fell behind you. Well,
Lars, stop! It's dangerous.
At least I've been pretty good about starting myself in positions where, like, I know what I'm doing when I start the next stream. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa! Not R1. What R1? I'm using the Resident Evil button. R2. There we go. There's another one. Thank you, Dolby Digital surround sound. Had to happen. Sit yourself. They got back up. Ah. That was a huge one. We needed that. Where did you come from? Guys, I think I'm going down. Never mind, we got 2 syringes. We're chill. We're chill. My girl after 4 mimosas? That's a pretty heavy morning, man. I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm not saying I've never done it. 4 mimosas is, for breakfast? I guess it's like half orange juice, half champagne, but still. Goes down like that sometimes. I hear that, brother. It's brunch? Well, yeah, I'm not trying to spend like $200 on brunch for 2, though. Can't you just bring like some shooters and do them in the bathroom and then we can order like Eggs Benedict or something? They're bottomless? Man, I gotta move to Wisconsin. Yes, yes. It's really beautiful. I think it's really beautiful that they serve martinis in like highball glasses. It's a warning shot. What a whiff, man. What a whiff. Come on, come on. She doesn't want the smoke. I gotta be honest. Like, we should get the key to the city after this game is done. Because, like, straight up, the property values are gonna skyrocket, man. For killing all the residents? Bro, like, for cleaning up the damn streets. And, I mean, occasionally smashing every car window, but, like, it's gotta be done. It's every day, bro. Oh no, he's a Law and Order Andy. I'm not a Law and Order Andy. The denizens crawling the streets are literal, like, perversions of the human psyche, man. I mean literal in the most literal sense of the word. Like, look at they're visions of my own id carrying bladed weapons, man. Stop or I'll shoot. It's got to be done, man. It's on site. Next you're going to call them degenerates? Well, I don't think they're degenerates because they're not doing anything except, like, killing, man. Are they decroded? They might be the picture you find in the dictionary when you look up decroded. I guess you're using a dictionary that's a little bit dubious because it has words that don't exist and also pictures, but... Nice try, kid. I own you. I would at least hope that if I was in Silent Hill, I could be one of, like, the nurses. I'm not gonna gaslight myself into thinking that I'd be Pyramid Head. I'm not sure I'm that guy. But, like, one of the limbless monsters that's, like, zipped up in a bag and just explodes in goo after you hit him 3 times. You can call me a bad person if you want. I want something more for myself than that. Had to be done. My friends called me out on it. I defended your fake language till the end. I'm being 100% sincere when I say this. I truly, and I'm not trying to get into a broader philosophical discussion. Decroded is a word in my world. Just because it's not in the dictionary, it honestly, like, doesn't matter to me at all. I know what it means. Many people know what it means and agree on a shared meaning of the word. How could it not be a real word if we can use it to communicate a more complex idea with a symbolic language? How could it not be a real word? We're using it as a word. I don't need to wait for Merriam and or Webster to weigh in. We're using it as a word right now. I know it's a word. You don't need to win the Nobel Prize to, you know, validate your scientific study. Hey, by the way, I never got this deep into science, despite having a degree in science. Hey, hang on a second there. I was getting to something. Like, I've never contributed to a scientific paper that's been published in a journal, okay? But I was sold the idea that the scientific method is so goated. Chill, bro. Because, like, you write down the way that you did an experiment so that it could be replicated by other people, but especially the peers that review the research in order to go in the journal. So I guess naively, I kind of assumed that before it went into the journal, the journal's editors were like, we're going to run a reasonable analog to this experiment just to make sure that it actually, like, checks out. And then come to find out at age 35 that actually they just read the paper and go, yeah, it looks like you guys did things right. And then they publish it in the paper. They don't engage in the scientific method or nothing. That would be so much work. Well, yeah, you're uncovering, like, fundamental truths of the universe, man. And it's 2024. Like, it's no longer like apples are red. Like, we're getting into some complex stuff. Like, they don't even try or nothing? That just seems crazy to me, man. You're supposed to replicate it yourself and then submit it? Yeah, but what if you're just... Like, I know maybe this sounds naive or maybe, like, overly conspiratorial, but, like, what if you just made it up? Like, obviously, if it gets discovered, then you, like, you know, lose your credibility and probably your career. But, like, until it gets discovered, aren't you kind of, like, aren't you rolling? That seems bad, man. I'm not trying to make science go woke, but that seems bad. How would you replicate experiments at CERN? I don't know. I thought, like, let me put it this way. For Guinness Book of World Records, they have like a motherfucker come to your house and watch you drink like 100 glasses of milk in 10 minutes or something like that. They can't have like the editor-in-chief of astrophysics like go watch the experiment take place at least or something. Take one of those. Yeah, dude, you know how many fucking lectures I had to listen to about the Stanford Prison experiment? From like 9th grade up through the second year of university, every single psychology class I took was like, honey, wake up, it's time for your 3 lectures about the Stanford Prison experiment. Then the dude is like 3 days away from death, and he's like, guess what? I made all this shit up. And you're like, buddy, you wasted like hundreds of thousands of hours of human beings' time throughout history. It's like generations of people have been fed your misinformation. Okay, God knows, so you could, I should have been checking my corners. That's on me. And like the first time you hear about the Stanford Prison experiment, you're like, this is unbelievable. Then the dangerous thing is like the second time you hear about it, you're like, yeah, human beings are fundamentally monsters. But like one of the data points that leads you to believe that is an experiment that's made it into the public consciousness where the results were fucking made up, man. This one's for you, Milgram, you piece of shit. Was that? No, Zimbardo, sorry. Milgram, you might be chill. I don't know, maybe he made that shit up too. You can't trust none of them, man. Arrgh! No healing items, huh? I think some saves would do me good. That's why I do all my own research on Facebook. I know that's right. Is it the Milgram experiment? Is that the one where the person pressed the button for increasingly dangerous like electric shocks, even though the plant who was in on it kept being like, wow, the shocks are really hurting, and then eventually like they pretended to be unconscious? There's a lot of experiments that I don't want to say fall for, because I guess that's not the spirit of like surveys or psychological research. There's a lot that I fall for or would fall for. I honestly, in my heart, so you can't tell me I'm wrong because it's one man's opinion, in my heart, I would not have kept pressing the zap button. Not because I'm a fundamentally better person than the average, I think. I don't know, that's hard to tell. But because anytime I've done those studies, which is, I don't know, like 15 times in my freshman year of university, because you had to in order to get your psychology credit, I always looked for the gimmick and tried to play around the gimmick. So whenever they would be like, hey, we're testing like your memory to see like how many numbers you can remember like in sequence, like I was already in game day mentality from the moment I walked in the lobby. I'm looking around the lobby, I'm looking at the bowl of candy in the middle. Oh, there's only one piece of candy in the bowl. Yeah, there's 3 people in here and there's only one piece of candy in the bowl. We're gonna go see who's gonna be the person that grabs the candy from the bowl. I see how it is. And then the whole memory thing is just for no reason. It's just the red herring. So I think straight up, I would have sniffed out the zap. I would have been like, I'm not zapping this guy, he's my brother. They'd be like, zap him. I say, he just said it gave him a headache. I'm not gonna keep pushing the button. You literally work in academia, no disrespect. I don't have to listen to you. I can walk out the front door. If I wanted to fake scientific research, what field should I do it in? Back me up here, DL Guiga. Finance? Economics. Because finance, you could run a back test. But economics, yeah, behavioral economics, I can't disagree, man. Spin the two wheels of behavioral economics. Individual stock picking is good because it reinforces the habit of, when you're hungry, paying attention to financial news, which is a long-term indicator of engagement in the market. That being said, D. Guiga probably thinks goodwill is real, so. It is. No, it's not, D. Guiga. Maybe, have you ever heard of a little company called Enron? Look it up, okay? They won't teach you that in school. Honestly, I have no reason to fear. Because, okay, I'm getting a little scared. I have no reason to fear because you haven't given me a save point, man. You haven't given me a save point. So if there's such a robust combat section, you wouldn't give me something truly dangerous before a save point. It would be considered bad game design. It would knock down your meta score by 4 points. And the Konami shareholders would lose like 7% of their investment overnight. So there's no chance. It's just not happening.
Laura? Where did she go?
I told you. Now we should be scared. Now we should be scared, man. Because they just gave us some ammo, too. And that's 5 bullets. That's no joke. Whoops. Whoops. Hang on. Let me see what we got here. He who is not bold enough to be stared at from across the abyss is not bold enough to stare into it himself. The truth can only be learned by marching forward. Follow the map. There's a letter and a wrench. Write that down, James. Write that down. Letter and wrench. End of year financial check. Are your papers in order? Okay, first off, work on your diction. It's a troubling association there. Secondly, no, not really. But I'll tell you why. It's because it's not my fault, man. It's the system's fault. Especially as a small business owner. You know, filing your taxes is annoying. So every year when I file my taxes, I'm like, oh, next year, I'm going to do it month by month. I'm going to keep track of the invoices and the monthly money coming in and the money coming out. And I'm going to like export that as a PDF. And then at the end of the year, all I got to do is get these like 12 PDFs out there. Then like March rolls around and I get all the stuff together from last year. And I'm like, oh, that was fucking annoying. Thank God that's over. I don't want to think about it for like 9 months. So I take 9 months off, and then when January, February, March next year roll around, I'm like, oh, why didn't I fucking do it monthly, man? Let's try. Can't relate. I'm Gen Z. Hey, Gen Z, as a millennial, aka a boomer, I have to ask, okay? Because like we've railed on the boomers for a long time. Even if you voted for like, you know, the NDP or the Green Party or Bernie Sanders your entire life, you're screwed by association, right? Because everybody under the age of like 32 just lumps you in with people that have voted for Ronald Reagan type policies for your entire life. And like, okay, well, thanks for voting to thanks for doing nothing about climate change, like one person in their 70s. How do you feel now that the rising tide of conservatism is largely driven by young men between 18 and 30? Like, I'm pretty close to just being like, okay, Gen Z, like, I get it. You guys you're doing your best, but at the same time, like, I'm out here trying to keep David Eby rolling strong. So like these long-term initiatives for like housing in BC can get rolling. They've only had like 2 years to get rolling. It takes a long time to build houses, right? Meanwhile, people are like, nah, give me real quick, can we just vote in the dude who said that the COVID vaccine causes HIV? I'm just saying, if you gotta lump in all the boomers with each other, it's time to start having a reckoning with the younger generation as well. As always, millennials, the only innocent generation. The only thing we've ever done wrong is post cringe on Maine. And maybe allow Ellen DeGeneres to rehabilitate the image of George W. Bush a little bit, but some of us never forgot. 30 bullets, they're gonna start sending the hordes at us, man. We did post cringe on Maine though. Oh, we did. We did has cheeseburger. There's no doubt about that. I can't pretend that shit didn't come to pass. But you know what? Back in 2007 or so, pre-2008 financial crisis, almost all of us has cheeseburger, to be honest. I wish we could all has cheeseburger again. But back then the cheeseburgers were like, I don't know, maybe $3.50, and now a cheeseburger, don't even get me started. Yes, it's $2.99 Canadian at McDonald's, but at a restaurant that might be like 22 bucks Canadian now. It's getting to the point where it's hard for everybody to has cheeseburger. I didn't see you there. Plus, you can't even get a quarter pounder without dying. Well, I don't know about all that. I'm pleading the fifth on that one. Good shot, kid. Did you hear that? It sounded like somebody busted out of like a metal door. It was probably just somebody trapped in the mailbox or something. Closest conspiracy theory I have, or the closest thing I have to a conspiracy theory, in all honesty, it's actually become the idea that nutrition is not real, which is not valid, but is something that I feel deep in my bones. Like, I was feeling it's anecdotal, okay? There's no scientific method to back this up, but as we've already done the legwork of debunking the scientific method, that shouldn't really be a problem. You just got laid the fuck out. Sit down. What do you mean by that? I was feeling a little bit tired yesterday. I said, what am I gonna have for dinner? I ate 5 slices of pizza. 5 slices! I'm normally a 2 to 3 slice Andy. I ate 5 slices of pizza. It's a health potion, man. I woke up, I felt insanely good. The heck? A bug? Did you get extra sleep as well? I got about the same amount of sleep, to be honest, but nah, man. I'm telling you, pizza's medicine, man. You just needed more carbs? I know, that's what I'm saying. Nutrition's not real. Wait, are you agreeing with me or disagreeing with me? Because mods, can we get a /user on that person and get ready to click one of 2 buttons, either VIP or timeout? Jerma Layers of Fear clip. Okay, honestly, good shot. Quite resilient, aren't ya? Oh. Everything in moderation, even moderation. I don't believe in that one. The reason I don't believe in that is because I feel like it's almost exclusively, and I'm not suggesting this of you, I feel like it's almost exclusively used by alcoholics. Because they always use it as like a riposte when you say like, hey, I don't think you should drink like 14 beers. And they're like, actually, a little binge drinking is healthy for you. It's good for the soul. That might be true, I don't know. Hello? Did you see that Brianna Chicken Fry thought that Matt Rife was Pookie? That's crazy for her to be glazing Matt Rife after she just broke up with Zach Bryan. Like that's, to me, that's just a little too soon. It's a little disrespectful. Whoa! Okay, this is no joke. No heels. No frickin' heels. Right, she don't got a glass jaw, man. She just kept coming. And there's more? Her pipe went through your head. Keep your hands up, King. It's called defense. You hear that? Oh, snap! This actually happened to me at Waterfront Station once. Opinion on condiments? Sure, why not? Mustard, goated condiment. It goes on way more than you would expect. Ketchup, I accept it as a dip. I like it as a sauce on burgers. It's crazy, like on burgers it elevates them, but ketchup on a sandwich sounds like so degenerate that I don't even want to give it the time of day. And then relish, to be honest with you, I've been on this earth 35, and very, very close to 36 years, and I'm still forming an opinion on relish, man. I'm fucking with it more than I ever have, but it's definitely like it's very mercurial. I'm still figuring out where I stand on it. Most underrated condiment? I don't know if people are ready for this take. 10 years ago, this take would have gotten me kicked off this website. Most underrated condiment, barbecue sauce / steak sauce. I understand a good steak is desecrated by a steak sauce, but sometimes you just want to taste the steak sauce. I don't know what to tell you. Like there's different varieties of steak. There's like, I made a nice steak. I sous vide'd it and reverse seared it, or like put it in the cast iron and then finished it in the oven or something like that. And then there's another steak that's like, you know, I bought like a cheap steak from the grocery store and I cooked it like medium or medium well and then slathered it with steak sauce, and they're both good. Now one I would pay for at a restaurant and the other I would not be pleased to. But at home, there's a difference, man. It's like there's a difference in burgers, right? You can get like a restaurant burger. You can get a McDonald's burger. They occupy different niches despite being in the same category. Oh, I was playing just by sound. I almost had you, sack of shit. James, you gotta extend fully on those. You gotta extend fully. Why are you choking up on the pipe, James? This ain't spring training, okay? I do, if I have a curmudgeon take on steak, it's that I do feel like it's like one of the first bastions of foodieism when you decide to like elevate your game as a home chef. So I think you end up oftentimes with these situations where people that have cooked a steak like 5 times have these like, just let me in, really, really rigid ideas of like what a steak can and can't be. And then you're like, buddy, you're literally using like the Gordon Ramsay recipe for ribeye to cook like eye of round. And then you're talking like you're Marco Pierre White or something like that. Like, notice beef is expensive, man. That's why I don't buy it from the grocery store except like once every 3 months. You can catch me with chicken like 99% of the time these days. But you will not catch me on like r/steak trying to shame anybody for cooking a ribeye medium when they're cooking like eye of round blue, okay? That's all I'm saying. Just cook some lean ground beef and the cut of champions. I like my steak drippy, bro. Are you pro mushrooms on steak? Yeah, I'm like relatively, I'm not anti-mushroom. I just don't like them most of the time. I do find one of the best times for them is when they've, oh, Silent Hill 2 reference? When they've soaked up some of the beef fat. If you really want to see Mary, you should just die. But you might be heading to a different place than Mary, James. Me knowing Mary coveted thy neighbor's goat. Yes, I'm going to heaven, guys! Let's go! I must be halfway to heaven by now. Me knowing Mary had a little lamb? That's damn true. I've heard that. Wait, whoa. She had a little lamb. Next thing you're gonna tell me, like, what color was her fleece? Was it as white as the driven snow? Oh, man. This is how I found out? Ankle biters, man. Pipeline from steak enthusiast to wellness influencer is a well-trodden path. Guys, anytime you see an object, you should know there's haters behind it. What happened to the grifters, man? Am I crazy to think that, like, I think we used to have, like, a better class of grifters? I'm just gonna say, we were not necessarily smarter in, like, 2010, but, like, hundreds of thousands of people were not falling under the spells of people who were like, sunscreen is bad for you. I don't know what to tell you. You're right, maybe it just got easier, man. Maybe we're in a macro environment that's very, like, grifter friendly. They need to raise rates again. Watch this. Nice try, kid. Every shotgun shell is worth like 12 handgun bullets, so I appreciate that. You hear that? I'm like, really, man? Sunscreen? Copper tone. Copper tone's your enemy. I just can't believe it, man. Ooh, I think you were posted up devious. It was a devious trick. It's called tempo. Look it up. Did Napoleon really say I'll be home in 3 days? Don't wash? Yes, I believe that that was a real letter to Josephine. What a freak. I know, I kind of like love it though. Like it wouldn't be me, but at the same time, like, you can fit through the door? You gotta admit, like, that's true love, man. I knew it. Best spinach dip at a restaurant? Can I be real with you? I've never willfully ordered a spinach dip at any restaurant in my entire life. I don't think I've ever ordered anything. You know what? That's not true. I have ordered a beef dip at a restaurant. A beef sandwich with like some wet sauce on the side to dip it in. But I've never ordered like a spinach dip or a crab dip or anything of this ilk. I didn't say I'm better than you. I'm just saying like I don't know. It's not my tempo. I did go to a restaurant called Rock Bottom at a PAX once with Cobalt. Cobalt did order, it was either a spinach dip or a crab dip. I'll give you, so I have consumed it before, but I've never willfully ordered it myself. There's a bug here. It's incredible that you remember that. Of course I remember. I was having lunch with my friend. I don't remember what we talked about, but I remember that. But you know why I remember? Because I was like, oh, he ordered the dip. I've never ordered that before. Like that was the reason that made it into long-term memory. I was like James with the map. I pulled out my mental map and went Rock Bottom, 7th Street, Seattle, 2015. Cobalt Streak ordered the crab dip. Letter and wrench. We're working on it, bud. We're working on it, okay? First, I gotta get back aboard the Nebuchadnezzar. Wrong number.
Anyone there?
You will appear before a federal magistrate. This is Canada Post calling. We have found contraband in a package delivered to...
Or perhaps you are a fool. The truth usually betrays people. You should know. The key is in the park, at the feet of the praying woman. The wrench will open the gate. The key will let loose the abyss. Sorry for the map. Did you guys see that Zizek anecdote? It was a tweet that said, my friend saw Zizek speak at their school. Oh, snap, you're right. Let me get this real quick. And then the moderator interrupted him and said, I think it's time for questions. And he said, okay, I've got the first question. Professor Zizek, what would you say if you had more time? And then he just kept rambling. I'm going to say this. I have absolutely no idea what any of the defining ideals of his or ideas of his philosophy are, but that's my king right there. Comedians can be funny, but nobody can be as funny as a funny person that's not in comedy, man. Oh, that was I got the letter. I'm spending all this time looking for the letter. I already got the letter, man. He should go on Talk to Her, man. I would like to think that he would treat Haley Welch with such disdain that she might actually like disappear from the planet. Oh, there's a health potion in pizza window. Thank you. Did you hear FaZe Banks was caught glazing Netspend with a gyat behind him? Why would you want that? I'm honestly, I'm starting to think that she's... We have a fundamental... we disagree on a lot of things. I don't think we'd get along. I used to think that it was funny to reference her because self-serious people resented her for being successful for a bad reason. As someone who's successful for not a good reason, I resented that mantle being placed on her, and I thought I would come to her defense. Then she's tweeted like about Bitcoin every single day for like 2 straight weeks, and not even like she's not even faking like being a true believer, which I wouldn't have that much respect for, but it's better than just posting like an AI generated meme about Bitcoin every day at least. We used to have people posting stuff that was like, you know, it takes 72 hours to send a wire transfer, but I can send funds instantly, you know, using the blockchain. And you'd be like, okay, I guess maybe like it's not that relevant to me, but it makes a little bit of sense. Now it's just like her head on like Doge's body, and it's like Doge on that thing, and I'm like, ah. Fame really gets to you. Not everybody can handle it. She had a meteoric rise. I don't want her to fall. I just want her to like tweet better stuff, man. And like I get why she's doing it. Like she's doing it for money, maybe. But then like all the people that are in the replies that are like, yes, like joy emoji, this picture of your head on Doge with the hashtag BTC is like the funniest thing I've ever seen. And I'm like, we're on the same planet as each other. Like you could be into crypto, you know, it's not my scene, but you could be into it. But then to like be out here gaslighting yourself into thinking that like that's comedy, that's a step too far for this old soul. I'm sorry. I'm like, you're actually like tweeting deliberately like ChatGPT, which is crazy to me. I'm like, they must have fed your shit into the algorithm in order to get it to spit out the kind of decroded word salads that it spits out. The door that wakes in darkness, an opening into nightmare. I thought this was like a Wile E. Coyote thing, where I could just like sneak through the curtain. Where's the flashlight beam coming from? The same place as the music. Did you know in Lord of the Rings, the 2 towers, when Viggo Mortensen kicks the helmet and screams, he actually broke his toe? Talk to the 2 towers. Yes. Hawk tourists. I can't keep it going. Did I save? Sorry. Always got to make sure. You got to make sure, man. Wrench on that thing. And she can do whatever she wants. I don't know. Do you know what it is? And something happened to me. I don't know what it was. I've been trying to reverse engineer it. I became like an acolyte of authenticity at some point, despite being like the most disingenuous and sarcastic motherfucker I've ever met, probably. So now when I see people willfully send out like a signal into the world that is an obfuscation of their real spirit, it offends me on like an embarrassing level. It embarrasses me how offended I get. That's why when Apollo tweeted, I don't tweet much, but here's like my I voted sticker, and Dan replied, why don't you come on this website anymore? It has everything you like, and then 4 emojis of like a controller, a dog, like a football and a tennis racket. I told him to stop tweeting like a bot, because like I know your soul, man. I've seen the face of your spirit. Why are you tweeting like a bot? You're debasing yourself in the eyes of the creator, man. That's not you. That's like, it's like a bullet in my head to read that tweet when I've gazed into your personhood. And then you might say, well, how did you feel when he said your shirt looked like Tim Allen would wear it on Home Improvement? It felt like a salve on a burn, because I knew it came from a place of realness. Are you chill? I'm getting out of here. Goodbye. Let me guess. The endless hallway. Nope. That's the end. Alrighty. No, I don't think it makes him a bad person. I was just, momentarily offended by his very, very bot-adjacent tweet. And I get that he's like an affiliate on X, even though I have no idea what it means. But that doesn't mean you have to sell your soul. Tweet 4 emojis like you're the CEO of the corporation. You could still... you could tweet from the heart. You don't need the... For me, it's just it leaves a sour taste in my mouth. You're not going to believe this, but this is basically Zizek's entire philosophy. I knew he was spitting, man. Turns out I don't have to read the books. I reverse engineered them through the power of my own decoded thoughts. All right. That's good because the books are virtually unreadable. Yeah, I mentioned this like last week, but I got the audiobook for like on the sublime nature of ideology or something, and I was like, what the fuck is this guy talking about, man? I thought he would, like, I'm so stupid that I thought philosophy would be like, sandwiches are good, hamburgers are evil, and I'd be like, oh shit, let me write that down. But instead it's like, it's idea math. Like I haven't taken the prerequisites to understand what to do in this advanced course.
This place is different from what I remember. I guess things never really stay the same, do they?
Obviously you've never seen the Hangover sequels.
I guess not.
Basically the same damn movie. Mr. Chow shows up in every single one, inexplicably.
I don't think she's here anymore, James.
Who?
My mama?
Oh, thank God. I was worried you were going to say Mary.
She doesn't want to see me anymore.
Why would you think that? Anyway, I'm happy to see you.
Happy to see me?
Alive, I mean.
Now look around you, lady. We're literally in hell.
Yeah.
This is hell. You know that, right?
I better get going.
You still don't want me to go with you? we stick together, we might just make it out of here.
Out of where?
I'm not telling Angela to lock in, okay? She's her own woman. She can make her own decisions. Plus, I don't want this to turn into another escort mission.
No, it's fine.
Okay. Oh, you didn't happen to
You haven't
see
happened
Pearl
to
around here, did
see
you?
anything at all, have you?
A little girl?
Yeah,
You ever see Austin Powers?
Angela? Are you alright? Angela?
No. Please. You shouldn't be here.
I could have told you that.
Angela, it's okay.
No, don't touch me!
What do you think it is? Jay and James's head right now? Ah, the belt doesn't match the shoes. That's it. Pulling out the list of things that give the ick. So number 937. Brown belt, black shoes. Fuck. All right, there's always next time.